You can access the entire episode now on our website, forbiddenknowledge.news, Rokfin, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. But today, we're going to once again jump into consciousness exploration, the nature of this realm and those beyond. You have a new book that we're going to delve into as well, God is a Hologram. And this delves also deep into your own findings through consciousness exploration and research. Now, before we get into anything, it's been a while since you've been on. For those that may not have seen your last appearance, tell us a little bit more about yourself and what led to your explorations.
Yeah. So, what really started this all was, being told as a kid that life isn't fair. Honestly, that was the catalyst. And I thought, well, why isn't life fair? That it can't just be unfair. There's got to be like a reason behind it. So that was actually the triggering point. From there, I grew up Catholic, for better and for worse, more so, ultimately. I thought it was weird that we were eating Jesus and drinking his blood. I thought, what's going on with that, man? I mean, I love the guy, but, so I don't want to do that to him. The good thing I got from that was the golden rule. What goes around comes around. That has shown over the years of deep study, and that holds up. It lines up with the Eightfold Path in Buddhism. I've just found that sort of those sweet and simple spiritual concepts, don't do harm to others, try to be a moral person. Just the sweet and simple stuff holds up. Then you get all the empire programming, you get the blood and sacrifice worship, you get, basically the bad habits of the ruling class. They try to pawn them off onto us and to normalize them. So they had a way of sneaking them into all of the major religions. And rather than, worshiping, or as I prefer, having a co-respecting relationship with the creative source origin of all things, they put in place their own egregore, externalized astral overlord that is connected to the blood sacrifices, who chooses sides in corrupt human societies and hands over killing technologies. Back in the day, it was Ark of the Covenant. These days, it's the reverse engineered UFO and directed energy weapons. If we could only know where that technology stemmed from and the deals that were made and the forces that were involved, I think we would come to find that it's essentially pretty much what was going on back in the day is still going on. They just change the face of it, tweak it here and tweak it there, and resell it to the masses like another superhero movie coming out of Hollywood.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, let's get into some of your own personal explorations that led you to some of these conclusions. Maybe some of the most profound events that really led up to everything.
Absolutely. On my 21st birthday, a good buddy of mine was kind enough to say, hey, we could go out and get super drunk, or we could hang out here and smoke DMT. And I was like, all right, let's do that. That's more my vibe, Yeah. And so I did. I had a breakthrough experience, my first time out. And, suddenly I'm looking up at the ceiling, and there's these two angelic women with 2-foot tall heads. They were giant, and they were just looking down at me with such a sweet, loving softness that it just immediately, touched my heart. I felt like I knew these beings somehow. I looked over at my friend, and I could see through his skin and see the muscle tissues and the membranes and the brain underneath the skull and the phasing rainbow energy that is going through us all the time, but it's sort of outside the visual spectrum normally, until you turn that into the spectrum on like a radio dial. I opened and closed my eyes. When I would close my eyes, the darkness would fill in, and I was suddenly in like a egg-shaped spherical room that whenever I would make a noise, a different colored shape would appear. And I suddenly recognized, oh, this like vibration that I'm emitting is like echoing out into this energetic membrane that all the time that I didn't even realize existed. When I opened my eyes, I quickly watched the world around me load. It started out, you know, black, and then this kind of blue crystalline surface, this transparent shimmering blue, made all of the basic shapes, and then all of like, so it would make the desk, it'd make the floor, make the walls, make the beds. And since they were all transparent, I could see the stairs through the wall like load. I could see like the roof load. I could see some of the stuff outside load, but then it became solid, and then all the little things like the little, you know, coins and trinkets on the table kind of popped into place. Like they came on the second phase of the loading. First was all the major stuff, filled in all the colors, then all the little things appeared. And I was just immediately stricken with this feeling of, wow, this is like a very advanced holographic simulation that's billions of years old, and a level of advancement that we can't really wrap our head around. Even though we're a part of it, it's just kind of just outside of our reach. And I think evolution likes to work that way for efficiency reasons, and also so we're always kind of reaching a little bit further. You know, that's what kind of keeps us growing and keeps us evolving, keeps our consciousness developing. Is there's always just a little bit more, and there's a little bit deeper of a thing out there kind of calling us in. So that was the first experience. Then me and my buddy actually, we made our own DMT, some of which we gave to the band 311. That was like a pretty cool highlight moment there. Big fan of theirs. And I just had a ton of it. So I was using it regularly and started to engage with interdimensional beings. You know, and on the D, it was all, I had only good experiences. Even the one negative experience turned out to be good. You know, I went in, you kind of close your eyes and face a light source, and then that darkness fills in. And all of a sudden, there was a skeleton in armor rushing me, holding a spear, and telepathically projecting at me, like with a scream, like, "Trespasser! Trespasser!" This was like a gatekeeping spirit, like I'd read about in the Egyptian and Tibetan books of the dead. Yeah. And I was like, I just immediately responded, just genuinely like, "Whoa, dude, you're so heavy metal, and like the Iron Maiden cover Come Alive, dude. This is rad, man. Where are we? What's going on, man?" And I was just super like exuberant and excited by this. Like we were in some like dingy dungeon with like cool like glowing cobwebby cobwebs, and I just thought it was rad, you know. Yeah. And the skeleton just cracked up. He just started laughing, you know, and the mood just changed. Like that energetic consciousness that you bring just pervades into the space, and it's like an instant type of communication. Us even like speaking back and forth using, you know, human language, which is essentially, you know, an empire mind code. It functions, you know, it does what it needs to do, but it's like many layers on top of just this direct consciousness communication.